And now, Theatre and Tea with Peter Maccoy.
Hello there. I'm Peter Maccoy, author of the world-renowned Essentials of Stage Management. I hope you've been enjoying reading my book. I know I have. Today's topic is Chapter 6, the production period. The first thing that we'll need to get done is to set up a production schedule. And even though this is usually performed by the production manager, it is important to be on board throughout the process. The ideal production schedule would allow time for each of the following as appropriate. 1. Get in set lighting and sound equipment. 2. Rig lighting and sound equipment. 3. Rig flown scenery. 4. Erect set on stage. 5. Paint stage. 6. Focus lights. 7. Plot lights, including programming moving lights. 8. Rig communications equipment. 9. Plot sound. 10. Plot automation. 11. Get in props, furniture, and costumes. 12. Set up props, furniture, and quick change facilities. 13. Rehearse scene changes. 14. Cast orientation and familiarize with health and safety issues. 15. Licensing inspection. 16. Technical rehearsal. 17. Dress rehearsals. 18. Acting notes time. 19. Technical notes time. 20. Photo call. 21. Touch-up paint call. After the production schedule is out, one can begin work on the get-in, or as our friends from across the pond say, the load-in. Stage management is often not directly needed for the load-in, but it is always good to make regular checks on progress to spot any potential problems early on. The first task of a stage manager upon arrival at the theatre is to become familiar with the layout of the building, the dressing rooms, the toilet facilities, and of course, where to get refreshments. Dressing rooms must be allocated immediately. There are several factors included in the allocating of dressing rooms, and they start with billing. If there is a name in the show, they expect the room with the best facilities. The second factor is a contractual agreement. If other performers have dressing room clauses written into the contracts, it is vital to honor them to avoid a nasty telephone call from an agent. The third factor is age. It is in the best interest of everyone to keep members of similar ages together. Next is considering anyone with a disability and placing them as close to the stage as possible. You have to work out separating the genders in dressing rooms. Next we have the issue of personality and compatibility. Hopefully, as an observant stage manager, as I'm sure you are, you have noticed who gets along with whom and vice versa. If someone has elaborate or multiple costumes, it is nice for them to be near the stage. The rules governing children performance are very strict, separating boys from girls and separate from adults. Stage management's main responsibility during the load-in, dealing with the props and furniture that are being moved from the rehearsal space into the theatre. It is your responsibility to find storage for furniture, to set up prop tables, and provide adequate light backstage. Stage management is also responsible for the handing out of cue sheets and plots, which must be clear and up to date, to the heads of the departments, who will in turn be responsible for handing out individual responsibilities. Once the set has been put up and the lighting rigged and focused, the next stage is to plot light cues. During the lighting rehearsal, the lighting designer will run cue to cue lights, making changes as necessary, while the stage manager must plot each cue in the prompt copy. If dealing with a very scenic-heavy production, it is wise to schedule a scene change rehearsal, and this will also help speed up the technical rehearsal. often you will need to be inspected by the local authority, or as they say in the States, the fire department. The prop desk is where all the cues will be given from. There are different sorts of prop desks. Some just have a series of switches to operate light cues, others have complete communication systems, including intercom, telephone, video tie lines, buttons for operating special effects, and so on. Now we are ready to begin the technical rehearsal process. When the actors arrive, they should get acquainted with their dressing rooms, with the theatre, and with the set itself. The next step is the technical rehearsal. The technical rehearsal is the point at which all the elements of the production come together for the first time. This is the culmination of everyone's hard work and creative endeavour. It is an exciting time demanding full concentration and a steady pace. It is also a pain in the arse. Many of us are already familiar with the tech process. The starting and stopping, the not knowing entirely what's going on, and the repeating of things over and over. A stage manager must be able to understand all the things that are going on, all the reasons for holds, and reassure the actors that they won't be left on stage forever. It is also important for the stage manager to keep their cool when the director flips a bitch and changes something last minute. Tech rehearsals are when stage managers get to let their strong will show. They must be sensitive to everyone's needs and complaints, while also maintaining the pace of the rehearsal to keep everyone else happy. At the end of tech, stage management must make sure that all the master cue sheets and plots are updated and then circulated, and all changes confirmed. Cue calling is complex, and there are multitude of categories of cue points. These include word cues, timed cues, action cues, visual cues, follow-ons, word cue and cued follow-on, simultaneous word cues, and word cued followed by action cues. The proper form to call out a cue is to say the title of the cue and then go. For example, LXW9 go is a correct cue. When naming particularly long cues, it is important to be sure to provide ample time to list all the cues that need to be ready to go. It is also important to be aware of the space you are in, as you do not want audience members to hear you when you speak into the headset. The next step in the production process are dress rehearsals. These should be treated like actual performances, with as little delay as possible. This is a good time for actors to iron out any difficulty with costuming as involved with scenery. They can be used to refine the production and may involve both additions and cuts. At this point, we get to previews and opening night. And it is important for stage managers to keep the nerves of everyone down, especially directors, who tend to give notes 5 minutes before the opening of the show. Bloody idiots. Well, it seems we've reached the end of this chapter. So until next time, I'm Peter Maccoy, wishing you safe travels in your stage management career.